Hey, it's Brad Cumbers from Martialytics. Welcome to our how-to series on how to get your school set up, how to use all our features. We're going to go into every little thing, so the best ways to set things up, to get the most out of Martialytics, and obviously save you a lot of time. So let's just dive straight in. First thing we'll do is set up our school name, so you can set this up to be whatever you like, and it will update in the top right-hand corner here as well. Which is nice and handy, so you can see what you're doing. Save that. Your account information's here. So this is the screen you get presented when you first sign up for your trial account. You've got to set up your locations, add a style. Status is already done for you as a default. Once you've set those up, then you're ready to start adding your students. So that's a sort of a bare minimum of what you want to do. Let's go and add a location. It's good to always choose the suggested terms as well, just to keep it nice and neat. Location nickname is important because that's generally it should be the suburb name. It's where your location is referenced throughout the software. So any name like say Super Gym or Brad's Best Gym, or something like that would work. If you've got multiple locations, say I train at Canning Vale or I train at Balcatta or something like that, you want to know, it just makes it easier to use. So I'll call this one Canning Vale. It's the suburb name. Nice and straightforward. Okay, save the location. Okay, that one's done. You can add multiple locations as well. So if you want to go ahead and add some more, you can do. If you leave it blank, it doesn't get saved anyway, so that's fine. The next thing to do is add your styles and ranks. So this screen is pretty important because it's the class structure of your school. So if you think about a rank as being any sort of point in the hierarchy of your style, and a style being a class. So you might have an adults kung fu class, or an adult taekwondo, adult karate, etc., or kids kung fu. So adults, kids classes. You might have a personal training session. You might have a self-defense class. They don't have to have ranks as well, so you can set this up to be blank, and just so when you don't add a rank like this, and you just say call it personal training, you can then add students to that style, and they'll just be participants in that style. So wanting to add adults. That's my typing today. Adult kung fu, and then you go and add your belts. Right, sash, bam, bam. Gold. Orange. So as you go through, you'll notice that all the colors are filled out for you automatically. So we've gone and chosen colors that work nicely with the Martialytics color scheme. But you can also obviously customize these as well. So this can be any sort of purple. If you don't like the particular one we've chosen, it'll still work, but it might not look as nice as the other ones. Let's just go ahead some more. Set brown. So, if your style has stripes or different colored belts for sort of like half belts, or so you might have white belt, 3 stripes before you're eligible to go to the next full color belt, that's fine. All you do is go gold / 1 stripe in the description and use the base rank, base color as the color there. You can have it a slightly off color if you wanted to just make it slightly differentiated. Or like have it darker and just sort of move down this way. Really up to you, or you can just use the base rank. Base rank is probably the best, the way we see it. And then what you can do if you have added a rank after sort of filling it in, you can just drag and drop. drag and drop to just under where it's supposed to go, and the orders all just sort of get reordered for you. Now the next important part is the grading eligibility requirements. So what this is for is in our grading section in Martialytics. In our grading section in Martialytics, we've got a sort of a traffic light system. So traffic light system means you've got students show up if they're not ready to grade in red, almost ready to grade in sort of orange, or they're ready to grade in green. It's more of a guide to sort of separate your students out, so at a glance you can see who's been training enough, who's been attending enough, that they should have learnt the curriculum by now, they should know what they need to do, they should be ready to train, ready to grade. So this just gives you an idea of how that works. So say for example white sash is the first thing that you get when you come to the school. You get it automatically. There's no requirement to get that because it's the first one. So for that, against that, we will put, say you must attend 2 classes as a white sash, or for 7 days, so at least a week in that rank, before you're eligible to go to gold. So it's against the rank itself and how many attendances, etc., that they have to do at that current rank before they're eligible to grade up for the next rank. So for example, gold sash, you might need 8 classes, or for 30 days, for a month, before you're eligible to grade up for the next one, if that makes sense. So then you can have 30, and it's cumulative as well, so it's in the current rank. You don't have to attend 370 classes or whatever to get to black. You might just have to do 8 in each one. Just as an example. So you don't need to fill in eligibility requirements for every rank either, and it's automatically separated out for you. So we'll just save that. And there's that style. So moving on, status names. So you'll notice also that getting started is starting to flash now. We've ticked off all the requirements we need before we can start adding students and get your Martialytics account up and running. But there are more things you can add. So for example, status names. These are for, say, student, instructor, any particular ranks. It's like a hierarchy within your teaching structure, just so you can send those particular groups communications from our send feature. It just helps you organize your school a little bit better. But generally, student and instructor will suffice, so we provide those. Clubs and associations. This is also a segmenting tool for communications. So clubs, you might have something like Black Belt Club, where you learn advanced techniques, or you might have a weapons club, or sparring class, etc. So it's a way to sort of add tags to your students so you can send them emails. Now a pin for kiosk mode. So kiosk mode is the thing that we use for students to self-check in, or you can use it as instructors on the mat. I'll cover this in a later video, but setting a pin code for that allows you to put a bit of security around it. So to change the settings on your kiosk mode, you need to know the pin code before you can save it. So we'll just make it nice and simple. Okay, that's done. Now we're ready to go adding our students. So that's the school settings page in Martialytics. It's pretty easy to get set up. And then under the school settings menu, you've got other settings as well. So I'll go into all of these in their own videos. And I'll also go into how to use the dashboard, how to add your students, and how to use each of the other features in their own videos as well. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.